sweet. Thank you so very much. To it, I know it's the summer and people want to spend time in the sun. So
I just caught the bug because I'm definitely a movie buff, so I love, movies.
how that shapes, the decisions that we make.
Definitely dramatic drama.
Drama, my favorite.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
That's it. What? I was like,
Voila.
oh, nice.
Oh, I dig that.
It's free.
I never spend my free time. If it's free, I keep it.
You might get more no's than yeses.
No.
Biggest thing is relationships.
Stop flaunting your healthy, non-abusive, wonderful relationship.
There's a little chair right there.
Exactly. You can go sit right there.
Right.
I felt bad, but like, no.
Ow, and spray it with Lysol. I had my can of light spraying people. I was really spraying people.
Whoa, what?
That's
Yeah.
right. So I am Dr. LaCon. I have a PhD in psychiatric rehabilitation. Now, people may ask, what is that CRC? I'm a certified rehabilitation counselor. So what that means is I went to school, got my master's, sat for an exam, and I am able to counsel people using different approaches to work with people with all types of disabilities, whether it's psychiatric disabilities, developmental disabilities, physical disabilities, whatever it is. I do counseling in terms of accountability coaching so that people who may want to lose weight, people who may want to kickstart and jump certain things in their life, guess what? They can come and see me. I'm going to be doing a special on all 10 personality disorders. Listen, you're going to learn about these 10 personality disorders, okay? And not only are you going to learn about them, you're going to learn about the certain treatment approaches. There are 10. All right. So we have paranoid personality disorder. We have schizoid personality disorder. We have schizotypal personality disorder. We have antisocial personality disorder. We have borderline personality disorder. We have histrionic personality disorder. We have narcissistic personality disorder, avoidant personality disorder, dependent personality disorder, as well as obsessive compulsive personality disorder. So we're going to hit on all 10. I'm going to do one a week, and I need your feedback. I need your input. And I need you to take notes. Take notes, because someone in your family may be, have this, and they may not be diagnosed. So anyway, it's going to be very interesting. All right, my urbanites, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to like. I need you to share. I need you to follow. And also, hello, my urbanites. Welcome into the Urban Suite with me, Dr. LaCon, where we're providing tools to help you on your recovery and wellness process and journey in life. Listen, tonight we have, again, another huge show. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You are entering the Urban Suite with Dr. LaCon. Let's talk about urban issues plaguing our community.
Good to hear.
Let's talk about mental health. All right, repeat after me, my urbanites. I need you to repeat after me. Narcissistic personality disorder. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. NPD. Narcissistic Personality Disorder. This is the final one that we're doing from cluster. Which one? Cluster what? Where's my bell? Come on, my urbanites. What cluster is this? Cluster B. Okay, remember we did antisocial personality disorder. We did borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder. Now we're in our home stretch with cluster B, narcissistic personality disorder. So let me tell you, we're going to get right into it with this personality disorder. Because this personality disorder, Now, I have to say, in my opinion, it's not as destructive in a sense as antisocial personality disorder. Remember, antisocial personality disorder, that was where most of our serial killers are from. Now, they may have some NPD traits. Some of them really do. But there are 9 traits associated with this particular disorder. And we're going to get into the 9 traits. But guess what? The bottom line is fear. This personality disorder, for the most part, they fear not being admired. Oh my gosh. All right. So you all ready? So before we begin, I need you all to like. I need you all to share. I need you all to hit that thumbs up on YouTube. And in Facebook, I need you to like as well. And I need you to share. Tell people about Urban Tools for Change Network, because I'm presenting to you in a very basic way so that you can understand. So before we get into tonight, talking about NPD, Narcissistic Personality Disorder, I'm going to sort of personalize this tonight. So the person I'm going to say, his name is Johnny, because most men do have this diagnosis. His name is going to be Johnny. So rather than saying those people or whatever, I'm going to say Johnny. So one of the first traits, and again, all of my information comes from DSM-5, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition. There are 9 traits. However, you need at least 5 or more. You have to be diagnosed with 5 or more of these traits in order to be considered having NPD. So, are you all ready? All right. So the first one is grand thoughts. El Grande, grand thoughts. Johnny, I'll say Johnny. Johnny believes that he is far superior than his peers. Okay? He really believes and he fantasizes in his mind that he is far superior than his peers without, listen to what I'm getting ready to say, without showing achievement of such success. Johnny likes to brag. Johnny likes to boast. And Johnny likes to make up things. And the one thing about this personality disorder, they live in fantasy land. Now, do you remember when you were younger, where you had imaginary friends? That's called fantasy play. Well, unfortunately, with this personality disorder, that fantasy play as a child goes into adulthood. It never stops. And for the most part, everything that you believe, that you say, is based on a fantasy. It's something that you hope internally to believe in, but it's based on a fantasy. So the first one is grand thoughts, where it's fake. And sometimes it can be real, but for the most part, they're very grandiose in their thought pattern. And they like to put people down to make them feel far superior. And that is a very interesting tactic that Johnny will use. Johnny, in order to make himself feel and believe that he's far superior, will put you down. This is a very manipulative person. Johnny is very manipulative, and we're going to get into that one. The second one, preoccupied with thoughts of success and hanging around successful people. Johnny name drops all the time as if he knows everybody. But guess what? Johnny never is invited to their parties because they really don't care for Johnny, or they really don't know Johnny like that. Johnny puts himself on a pedestal to say, guess what? I'm friends with the 1%ers, and the 1%ers love me. And you aren't anything because you don't associate with my type of people, the 1%ers. That's how Johnny is. I'm telling you, Johnny is something. Johnny will say, I know A, I know B, I know C. But then you look at Johnny's life, and none of these people are reaching out to Johnny at all. They're not friends with Johnny. They don't associate with Johnny. They don't hang out with Johnny. Johnny is saying this as a facade because in his mind, that's what he wants to do. He wants to surround himself with the 1%ers. He wants to surround himself with the 2%ers. So the Johnnies of life, Johnny will say, oh yeah, I know so-and-so, so-and-so. Oh yeah, we used to do so. I know so-and-so, so-and-so. Nope. No. And then you have to be aware that you don't fall into that trap of being with someone who you believe know all of these people that only exist in Johnny's head. Very interesting. That's number 2. Number 3, Johnny. Let me tell you, they're preoccupied with being successful. They're preoccupied with being beautiful. They're preoccupied with being powerful. That's all they talk about. How powerful they are, how successful they are, how beautiful they are, how brilliant they are. They are just God's answer to mankind. Johnny is powerful. Johnny is brilliant. Johnny is beautiful. Johnny is successful. And Johnny will not let you forget it. Johnny will say all of these things about himself, while he will never, ever build you up. Johnny's job is to constantly, listen to what I'm saying, constantly build himself up while putting you down, because Johnny does not want competition. Johnny hates competition. Oh, the next one. Let's see. Oh my gosh. The Johnnies of life. He requires constant admiration. Constant admiration. How come you don't respect me? How come you don't adore me? How come you don't do this to me? How come you don't do this when I do this? How come? And Johnny will always compare himself with someone else to make certain that you are admiring Johnny. And if you don't, Johnny is overly critical of you. Johnny will study you in public and point out the little flaws that you do all the time. Meanwhile, if you don't give Johnny his due, oh my gosh, Johnny will freak out. Johnny always loves to be showered with, oh, come on, bless me. Yes, come on, tell me how good I am. You got to respect me. You got to bless me. You got to do this for me. You got to do this to me. Constantly have to be admired. And if you don't admire Johnny, Johnny will kick you to the curb because you're not feeding into that. See, that is the fear element. The bottom line is they fear not being admired. And that's Johnny's job. Johnny fears not being admired. And typically, this started when Johnny was a child. And those are two words that I talked about as a child growing up. And that's my dog barking. So forgive him. I think he's hungry right now. Two words: betrayal. And what's the other word that I talked about? It begins with the letter A: abandonment. When a child feels betrayed and abandoned, like my dog barking, they have a tendency to want to compensate for that. So guess what? We'll be right back with the other traits after this message. Right back. So listen, we are sponsored by Bless Ministries Incorporated. The Urban Suite is sponsored by Bless Ministries Incorporated. We are the premier workforce development agency in the state of New Jersey. And we work with various populations to get them employed, you guys. We work with those under the supervision of parole. We work with adults with disabilities. We work with youth with disabilities, like teens with disabilities. We work with those impacted by opioids in the state of New Jersey, as well as those that are receiving like food stamps and things of that nature. We do put people to work. All right, so we are back. We are back. So we're on number 5. Remember, I said that there are 9 traits, and you have to be diagnosed with at least 5. So that means 5 or more of those traits. So the next one that we're going to talk about has a sense of entitlement. Johnny has a sense of entitlement. Johnny believes that he doesn't have to stand in line for anything. I don't care if he needs to or not. Johnny is that type of person that you see at DMV who's always complaining, who's always fussing, who's always yelling. Why is this line so long? Why do we have to do blah, 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 blah? Because Johnny believes that he is too good to stand in line. Johnny will always have a sense of entitlement. I know I deserve this because of who I am. I am God's gift to mankind because I am Johnny. I'm powerful. I'm brilliant. I'm successful. I'm dynamite. Oh my gosh. Terrible. And then, the next one, this one is scary. Very scary. Now, I have to say not as scary, in my opinion, as antisocial personality disorder. But this one is very scary because they're very manipulative. They get what they want by using you. They really don't care about you at all. They are only concerned about what they want. And they will do anything within their power to get what they want. They will walk over top of you. They will throw you under the bus. They will do all these things. And then this personality operates in different contexts, meaning they operate like this at work. They can operate like this in personal relationships. They can operate like this in a school setting. I'm telling you, wherever they go, NPD follows them. It's terrible, I'm telling you. And then on top of that, when it comes to them being very manipulative, they lack empathy. They have no regard for your feelings, your needs, your wants, or your desires. And why do you think that is? Because it's all about them. It's all about Johnny and what he wants and when he wants it right now. Johnny could care less about your feelings. Johnny could care less about your emotions. Johnny could care less about you as a human. Isn't that scary when you think about it? Johnny's true motive is for you to be used so that Johnny can get what he wants. And who knows what that is? That could be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be a position in life. Very, 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 scary. Very scary. And then the next one, Johnny is envious of a lot of people. But also the flip side of that is Johnny thinks everyone is envious of him. Like, do you see the mind game that is happening with this personality disorder? And it's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. Your mind can tell you certain things that never happened at all. It has happened to me. It has happened to me personally. I'm telling you, in my mind, I knew I packed something away. I saw in my mind me walking to my suitcase. I saw in my mind zipping up the suitcase with that item in it. And then when I get home, it's on the bed. I never took it. It was like my mind played tricks on me. And that's what's happening with this person with this personality disorder. Johnny he operates under a fantasy. In Johnny's world, Johnny is friends with President Obama. Johnny is friends with Beyonce. Johnny is friends with Jay-Z. Johnny knows everybody that's important. Johnny and everybody's jealous of Johnny. Everybody. And I'm telling you, this personality disorder can be very dangerous because they play a lot of mind games. That is the one thing that they do, and it's called gaslighting. And this is how it looks. The person with this personality disorder will say they got caught doing something. And they will say, well, I engaged in this wrong behavior because you made me engage in this wrong behavior. It's your fault that I engaged in this wrong behavior. Isn't that something? They would actually blame the other person for them engaging in behavior that they knew that they should not have engaged in, and really believe that. They really believe that it's your fault why they engaged in some type of deviant behavior. They will never, ever take the blame without owning it 100%. They can never own it 100%. It's always, that person made me do it. She made me do it. He made me do it. So-and-so made me do it. No, you did it yourself, because last I looked, nobody had a gun to your head, Johnny. Huh. All right, the next one. Oh my gosh. Number 9. Arrogant and haughty. They have a haughty, arrogant disposition. If you try to talk to them, they make Talk to the hand. No, you're beneath me. I can't talk to you. You're imbecile. I cannot talk to you. How dare you talk to me that way? Don't you know who I am? I am Johnny. I am the one that needs to be respected. I'm the one that has to be respected. Oh my goodness. And then let me tell you about the Johnnies of the world. They really like to prey on people who appear vulnerable. And they prey on people who appear vulnerable because, what did I say? They prey on people who appear to be vulnerable so that they can heighten themselves up. So these are, again, some of the signs, fragile self-esteem. And that's one of the things that they have. They're very insecure people. Very insecure people, and they mask it. They mask it with this whole idea that they're better than you. But when they lay their head on that pillow at night and they really think about who they are, not who they present to the public, but really who they are, they have a very low self-esteem. And then they want other people to have that low self-esteem as well. It's sort of like hurt people. Interesting. And then, of course, their need for attention. Admire me. I need to be admired. I need to be respected. How dare you not respect me? How dare you not admire me? That's their MO, so to speak. And then the next one, delusions of grandeur. They believe that they're bigger than they are. Oh my gosh. I have 20 restaurants. I have 20 businesses. I have all this stuff. And there's nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it at all, except talk. And then a sense of entitlement. They don't want to stand in line. They don't feel that they need to stand in line. They don't feel that they have to stand in line because, again, they're God themselves. And God doesn't have to stand in line. They feel that, oh my gosh, everybody owes them. They don't owe anyone. Like I said, an apology. They don't dish out apologies at all. They say, well, I did this behavior because you made me do this behavior. That's what they say. And they put the onus and the blame on you rather than them owning it themselves 100%. They cannot say, you know what, I did it because I just wanted to. It had nothing to do with you. I engage in this deviant behavior because I wanted to. And that's their MO again. And then also the exaggeration of achievements. Oh, I've done this, I have this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done all these things. But then guess what? People that have a relationship with these people, there's something about you also, because you attract what you are. And I want you to think about this, because all this talk about, oh my gosh, I'm in a relationship with a person that's narcissistic. I'm in a relationship with a person with NPD. Why? Was it what they said? They charmed you and you believed them because you want to be in that sphere also. You may want to be surrounded by people who are superior. You may want to be around people who are like, are entitled. But then what happens is when truth starts to manifest, you're like, wait a minute, I didn't bargain for this. I thought we were going to have dinner with Beyonce. We're not going to have dinner with Beyonce? You really don't know Beyonce? Okay. You a liar. Well, you made me lie. because that's how you presented yourself. Like, I mean, oh my gosh, it's just a twisted web. Twisted, twisted, twisted. Oh my gosh. And then fantasies of being successful. They fantasize all the time about getting awards. Oh my gosh, when I do this, I'm going to get my Emmy. I'm going to get my Grammy. I'm going to get my Oscar. I'm going to get my Tony. And you're not doing anything to pursue that path whatsoever. It's just all in your head. It's all in your head. And then the next one is envy. They believe everybody is envious of them. And they are envious of other people who may actually have those things, who may be a little more humble. Because a person with NPD, they are not humble at all. Like I said, they name drop. They talk about how much money they have. They talk about how many houses they have, if they have houses or not, or whatever. You don't know if they're telling the truth or not. Maybe they are telling the truth, but the whole world really doesn't need to know that. And then also, oh my goodness, their mistreatment of others. That's that they're kind of very manipulative to get what they want. They take people for granted. They take you along for the ride to get what they want. And oftentimes it works because you fall prey to it, because underneath you find that to be very desirable. You find that a person having all of these things is very desirable. So if you find yourself in a relationship with a person with NPD, you have to ask yourself, how and why? What attracted me to this person? Was it a false a bag of goods that they sold me? Yes. Because guess what? At the end of the day, you were attracted to their grand thoughts. You were attracted to their sense of entitlement. It looked probably perhaps sexy to you. But then you woke up months later, years later, and nothing manifests. There's nothing. It's like catching air in your hand. There's nothing there. And then you're like, wait a minute. This is not what I signed up for. And then it's very challenging to break up with them, because then they're layered on thicker. Well, next week, we're going to do this. Next week, we're going to buy a house in Rome. I mean, what? To get you to stay with them. And then after you're used up, they discard you. They throw you away. And they have no sympathy, no remorse about your feelings, your needs, or your desires. That is something very terrible. And let me tell you, that particular personality disorder, a lot of people are throwing NPD around these days. Oh, this person has NPD. What is Adam says, hi, would you say most domestic abusers are narcissists? I don't know that. I can't say that. Now, they do have some type of substance use disorders. Definitely. They can be, but I don't know about most. I don't know what research says about most, but I know that they do engage in deviant behavior, and they can be that way. Now, I have no idea. Or personality disordered. So what do you mean, Adam? What do you mean, or personality disordered? I'm not really certain what you're saying about this particular person. All of these are personality disorders, and they can be co-occurring. So that's why I said I don't know. Because a person that is diagnosed with, say, for instance, antisocial personality disorder, they can have 2 of the traits of NPD, but not necessarily be diagnosed with NPD, because you have to have at least 5. So these are all co-occurring. So a person can have be diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and have some traits of NPD, but they may not be diagnosed with NPD. That's why I said it's very challenging, Adam, to say if most, people that, commit abuse, domestic abuse. And unfortunately, a lot of people that commit domestic abuse, it is not reported. So there are so many more people that, engage in domestic abuse that we don't know about because they don't report it. Like, are abusers typically sociopaths or narcissists? Well, they can be. They can be. Absolutely. So we're talking about abusers, physical abuse as well as mental abuse, because you cannot negate the physical abuse as well as the mental abuse. With NPD, a lot of NPD is mental abuse. And oftentimes we have to, I would say, enlarge our thinking when it comes to abuse. Abuse isn't just physical. Abuse it's verbal, which affects your psyche. So at the end of the day, it's physical abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, mental abuse. It's a lot of abuse. It definitely is. It really is. And finally, do they get their karma? Well, I don't know. I have no idea. I believe you reap what you sow. That's what I believe. I believe you reap what you sow. However, a person can be treated, not cured, but treated. The first thing a person has to realize is, oh my gosh, I have 5 or more of these traits, which is very hard for this type of person to do because they've had this personality for such a long time. So it's very challenging for them to step outside themselves, to say and to see themselves and to really know, you know what? I have issues. I need to see a therapist. One of the best things that you can do is really to see a therapist. And then work with a therapist to identify those things. Because again, sort of like any other personality disorder, there's no medication that you take for the personality disorder in and of itself. However, if you have anxiety, you can take medication for, anxiety or depression, but not a personality disorder. There is no pill to change your personality. And what did I say your personality is shaped by? Primarily 3 things: your behavior, your attitude, and your thinking. Your behavior, your attitude, and your thinking. So if you are diagnosed with this and you have to treat yourself, you have to change your behavior. You have to change your attitude, and you have to ultimately change your thinking. Remember what I said. I said about your thinking. Your behavior oftentimes is predicated on your thought life. What you think about, ultimately, you will do. If you think about going into the refrigerator and getting food, what does your behavior do? You go to the refrigerator and get food. If you think, no, I don't want that food, I don't want Haagen-Dazs ice cream, guess what you do? You hold back on that behavior. And you don't eat the Haagen-Dazs, Lisa, okay? So this is why this is so important to seek therapy, psychotherapy. Talk about these issues, but also you have to talk about how you were raised as a child. Did you feel betrayed? Did you feel, and were you abandoned? Because the core of this is fear. Let me play my fear. Fear. It's fear of not being admired. That's sort of like the core of this. Fear of not being admired, fear of being found out. You live a lie every single day that you begin to believe your lie. It's a very dangerous thing. And then to pull someone else in on it because you are very calculating. You strategically go for people who are very vulnerable in a sense, who are impressed by your fantasy. And that's the thing, that if you are entangled with someone with NPD, you have to ask yourself that question. Was I initially impressed by what they presented to me? And the answer will be yes. And then you have to look within yourself and say, okay, so if I was impressed by their fantasy, what type of person does that make me? Because it takes two to tango. So we'll be right back after our missing person segment. Stay. All right. So we have Jesse Burns says, good evening, Jesse Burns. Listen, I think you may be new to the Urban Suite. And every week when I do a live show, I highlight someone who is missing. All right. So this is our missing person segment. So we have Mackenzie Gibbs. And then I have my readers on already. So I'm ready for you guys. All right. So Mackenzie Gibbs, she's been missing since June the 27th, 2022 from Little Elm, Texas. She's 17 years old, you guys. Missing from Texas. My Texans, where are you? She's missing from Texas. I have no idea where Little Elm is. I just came back from Houston, Texas, Galveston, Texas. Texas is a huge state. And then while we were there, 4 children were abducted. It came through on my phone. What is happening in Texas? She's female, black, light skin, 5'9", 140 pounds, black, long hair. Her eye color is brown. Mackenzie was last seen at Little Elm High School on Monday, June 27th at 1 p.m., where she was picked up in an Uber and then dropped off on Bartocello Drive in Paloma Creek. Interesting. The circumstances of her disappearance, the identity of the persons Mackenzie is with is unknown. So either she knows the person or she doesn't know the person. And it sounds like the Uber driver dropped her off. So I don't know. But anyone with information, please contact the Little Elm Police Department at 214-618-1874. Again, let me read that for my Spotify, iHeartRadio, Facebook podcast, Google Podcast. That telephone number is 214-618-1874 or BAMFI, which is Black and Missing Foundation Incorporated, at 877-97-BAMFI. And then we are doing something special tonight in the Urban Suite. We have a homicide victim, up to $25,000 reward. Listen, this is my hometown. This is my hometown, Washington, D.C., Northwest Washington. Listen to this. Kendall Myers, the 800 block of Quincy Street Northwest. That was around the area where I grew up. On Sunday, June 26, 2022, at approximately 12:08, she was shot and killed in the 800 block of Quincy Street Northwest. The Metropolitan Police Department seeks the public's assistance in gathering information regarding this homicide. Listen, this came across my wire from a friend who knows this family. Somebody knows something. So if you know something, it's an anonymous call. You know, anonymous is different than confidential. Anonymous is nobody knows who you are. Confidential is they may know who you are, but they're not saying anything. So if you want to get a burner, call 202-727-9099. Again, that's 202-727-9099. All right. What do we have next? Oh, found safe. Yes. All right. So my Be More Maryland people, Baltimore, Maryland, you did it. You did it. He is found safe. Colin Hubbard, found safe. Thank God. Thank God. He was only 14 years old. You all did it. You all did it. All right. So we'll be right back after this.
But the biggest thing is always keep doing your homework. Don't get comfortable, because there's always new ways to do something. And that's the best way to learn, is to keep, informing and teaching yourself, and be professional at all times, and just, don't give up.
Don't give up. That's just like that clip at the beginning. Don't give up. That is key. Don't give up.
Do not give up.
Don't give up. If you know your purpose in life,
you should never give up.
You keep pushing that plow. Keep putting your hand and pushing that plow.
We're not going to give up.
It's not going to come just by osmosis, in a sense.
We must not give up.
Or just by you saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
Never give up.
Ніколи не здавайся. Ніколи не здавайся.
You have to work hard at it. And you can do it.
I won't give up. I know we can do this together.
All right, so we are back, and the Urban Tools for Change Network is sponsored by Blessed Ministries Incorporated, the premier workforce development agency in the state of New Jersey. So if you're looking for employment and you reside in Essex County, you reside in Hudson, Passaic, Union County, depending on your program and depending on, like, say, for instance, if you're on parole, you can come to us even if you live in Middlesex County. So we are Blessed Ministries Incorporated, BMI. And guess what? We're sponsored by BMI. So listen, man, we did a wrap up of today, Cluster B. So next week, we're going to switch gears and go to Cluster C. Yes, Cluster C. Cluster C, very interesting, guided by fear. Fear and anxiety, avoidant personality disorder, dependent personality disorder, and obsessive compulsive personality disorder. We're going to be talking about those three coming up within the next 3 weeks, Cluster C. But let me do a recap of what we went over in Cluster B. We talked about antisocial personality disorder. We talked about borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and tonight, narcissistic personality disorder. And all of them, like I said, can be co-occurring. So you can have some traits of histrionic personality disorder, some traits of borderline personality disorder, some traits of antisocial and narcissistic personality disorder. So if you missed my other episodes, you have to check it out. You have to check it out because I bring you the information as real as I can bring it, as real as I can bring it. So let's go down. Number one, grandiosity. They believe that they are so superior than anyone else. They believe that they are God's gift to mankind. And oftentimes it's in their head. It is in their head. Number two, preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, and beauty. Oh my goodness. That kind of sounds like a whole group of people. All right. Number 3, believe they are special and that they only know the 1%, and the 1%ers know them. So they may say, yes, I know this person. I know that person. They name drop. They do all these things. Oh my gosh. And then next one is require excessive admiration. They want to be admired so much. They just want to be admired. They want to be loved. They want to feel loved. They want to be admired because guess what? When they were younger, all this goes back. When they were younger, they did not get the admiration that they were, I would say, deserved as a child. A lot of betrayal, a lot of abandonment issues. And as a result, this person grows into adulthood compensating for that and then overcompensating for that. So again, therapy is key. Psychotherapy, talk therapy. You have to change your behavior, your attitude, and your thought process, which is done through cognitive behavioral therapy, which is very good for this personality disorder. Remember, there's no medication for this. You cannot be cured. You can be treated. You can be treated, but you have to put the work in. You have to first recognize that you have this personality disorder. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to others. Okay. The next one, a sense of entitlement. You really believe that you are entitled to every single thing. You have the thought that you don't have to stand in line. You think that you don't have to go through the loops that everyone else did. You can just go to the front of the class without, taking a test. You can get this promotion without putting the work in just because of who you are. The next one, lacks empathy. Man, oh man, this person, let me tell you, they could care less about your feelings, your needs, your desires, your wants, because they are tied to you based on what you can give them. And when you give them what they want, they will discard you and they will not look back. Oh my gosh. They're envious of others who really may have these positions, who really may have this stature. So example, say for instance, if someone is a celebrity and Johnny believes that he should be a celebrity, Johnny is going to cyberbully that celebrity because Johnny, deep down inside, is envious of that celebrity and that celebrity status. So a lot of people who do social or cyberbullying, oftentimes, it's rooted in them being envious of what that person really has. Very interesting. And then they assume that people are envious of them for what they fantasize about having, but they really don't have it. There's no real achievement. There's no real results. They really don't have it, but they think in their mind that they do have it and that they believe people are envious of them. And nobody's really thinking about you. I'm so sorry. Seriously. And then the next one is they're arrogant and haughty in their behavior, their overall disposition. They're better than. They look down at different staff. They look down at people that may wait on them at restaurants. I mean, they're not nice people. However, like I said, They can be treated. But the onus is on the person that has that personality disorder. And you can't blame anyone else for your personality disorder. You cannot go through life saying, it's my mother's fault. It's my father's fault. You cannot do that. You have to begin. The first step is acknowledgement. That is the first step. Acknowledge that you have this and don't blame anyone else for your deficits. Don't blame anyone for your shortcomings. These, the Johnnies of life, they hate to be criticized. They will only be criticized by people who they know are really like in the 1%. So listen, I think we done had enough. Oh, and Sam Jeffrey says, yes. Let me put that. I think that was shown. Hi, Sam. How are you? Oh, my goodness. It is hot out here in New Jersey. And where are you? In North Carolina? All right. All right. So listen. So next week, again, we're doing cluster C. And these are tools to help you on your wellness and recovery journey in life. So that, guess what? So you won't get bamboozled by someone, or if you are yourself, you have to admit it. But like I said, if you are in a relationship with this person, you have to ask yourself, why? Are you overly impressed by their fantasy? And why are you overly impressed by their fantasy? So anyway, listen, I think Adam, Sam, we had some other guests, or not guests, but we had some other visitors here. Jesse in the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa LaCon, where you laugh, learn, cry, and grow. Thank you for joining. Until next week, we'll be back. Molly, take us away.